Who is one deep tech founder, according to you, everyone should know of, and why?
Uh, so among Indian founders, especially, I would say Tarun Mehta and Swapnil Jain of Ether.
Okay.
So both of them have, I think, accomplished something extraordinary, and they have done it in the right way by, like I said, focusing on the right things, building the right type of product, and they continue to sort of do that. Obviously now, Ether is a public company, तो listed format में भी उन लोग उसी तरह से तरीके से काम कर रहे हैं, बहुत अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं, और उनसे बहुत कुछ सीखने के लिए है सबको.
And global?
Internationally hard to sort of name anybody, but obviously one always thinks of Elon Musk,
Yeah.
and also of Steve Jobs, both of them. I think Steve Jobs has much more to teach us than Elon Musk. And one book I would highly recommend is a book called Becoming Steve Jobs. So this is a biography of Steve Jobs and presents a really, I think, deep and a much more expansive picture of Steve Jobs, the person.
This is different from that Isaac Walter.
It's different. It's different from the Walter Isaacson book. Isaacson की जो book है, मेरे को लगता है काफी कुछ उन्होंने caricature कर दिया है. वो एक तरह से काफी distorted picture है, if you ask me. I believe Becoming Steve Jobs is a much better book.
Okay.
Because it really tells you how Steve Jobs evolved in his entrepreneurial journey from being a very young founder of Apple to coming back as the CEO of Apple. और उसके बाद उनका खुद का जो एक evolution था, वो कैसे हुआ over a 30-year period.
Got it. And Steve Jobs versus Elon Musk, you said that Steve Jobs ज़्यादा सिखा सकते हैं. So any idea, any like teachings or any learnings that you've had from both these entrepreneurs, और क्या सीखा है अपने दोनों entrepreneurs से?
नहीं, so I would say Apple is one company I've studied very deeply. I've myself been a long time fan of the company and its products and the way it works actually. And I think the greatest creation of Steve Jobs was Apple the company. So Apple जैसे structured है, the way it works, the culture it has, the organization it has created, rather Steve Jobs has created, that's something worth studying. It's not your typical large corporation. So it's worth reading books like Becoming Steve Jobs and other things about Apple to understand what it takes to do hardware innovation. I think some of the most prominent founders in India also have drawn a leaf from that book, including Hit Energy.
Oh, nice. तो ऐसे 2-3 कोई key insights वो books है जो आपको याद है, Becoming Steve Jobs, which really helped you in order to like.
No, so it didn't help me directly in that sense, but it's just something which one learns about the evolution and journey of an entrepreneur. Obviously, Steve Jobs himself in his life, he faced many setbacks. We always see him as the greatest entrepreneur, technologist of all time and so on. पर अगर आप उनका जीवन काल देखेंगे 1980 से लेके 1990s तक जो 15-20 साल उनके जो गए, they were very difficult years. He had created an industry and basically been sidelined from his own company, thrown out of his own company, right? Like literally ejected. And then for many years he was in the wilderness. What to do next? क्या करें, क्या नहीं करें? Kind of drifting away. People saw him as a has-been. कि कुछ किया था फिर अब और कुछ नहीं कर पाया उसके बाद. So it was a very difficult period that he had for a long time. And the recognition that he started getting 2003, 4, 5 onwards was also like it came after many years of intense work, effort being done at Apple. And it's worth learning from that actually. The output is what we all see. He held up the iPad, he held up the iPhone. But how did that happen? The backstory is what is actually more interesting.
Yeah. I recently read one of the tweets that you had also reposted. It was a newsletter which said that new things are never popular at first. And it spoke about how Apple was always coming up with new things, but they were never popular. And they were in fact criticized by a lot of media articles as well.
All the time, yes.
Yeah, I was just reading like when they launched iPhone with the keyboard which was on the screen, they were told that this is not going to work. It's not going to be an email machine.
One of the largest competitors, the CEO of Microsoft, actively mocked them.
Yeah.
and a lot of people.
Steve Ballmer,
Steve
right?
Ballmer, yes.
Hmm. Yeah.
And it was always a question, right? Like, it was a big risk. I mean, today it seems obvious to us ki how else could a phone be, but that speaks to the success,
Hmm.
the pervasive success of iPhone as a product. Ki no one thinks of it any other way. Like, it seems weird to think ki there's a physical keyboard. Why?
Hmm.
So that is the nature of any big success. Ki it becomes so pervasive, we take it for granted.
Yeah.
So often some of the things we take for granted in life, it is because it has become something is highly successful, and it kind of fades into the background. I've always said this also. We
Hmm.
stop thinking about them because they're so good and so successful.
If you learned something new from this video, do share it with your friends and subscribe to this channel so that we can bring you the best content possible. Also, if you want to watch this entire episode, click on the link in the description box and you can go to Kushal Lodha YouTube channel and watch the entire podcast episode. Thank you so much for watching this and have an amazing day.